Rightio, now on Campbell's comments. Bit of a special one here for the guys from Southern Breed, Southern Red. Firstly, Mark O'Connor, welcome to Campbell's comments.
Thanks, Paul. Great to be on board.
Now, we just had a great discussion about your stud name and where it comes from, and your wife studied Spanish. I'm going to go Denario. Hopefully, I'm not far off the mark. He's grinning, so maybe I missed it a little bit.
That's pretty much 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Um,
I'll take that.
yeah, so it's actually Latin origins, Paul. She taught Spanish and Latin, which is no longer available in the New Zealand school system. And it's the term for money for Latin. So we came up with that one night. We were thinking of cash flow and cash, and landed on that. And we've tried to keep that reasonably consistent. Where we breed the odd horse with friends and others, we don't always use the Denario name. But and of course, you got the debate now about whether you name the horses at all, put them through the sale. But we'll continue to label them with Denario and leave it to the buyer then to decide whether or not they wish to change it.
Yeah, no, well, there's a couple of names. We're going to discuss one in a minute, but there's a couple of names in the stud book. Elton J was one we highlighted last night. I think that's a great little name, and you've got one that's going to come up in a minute. We're going to cover off on a few things, but I want people to tune in to the end of it. We're going to highlight lot number 349, but there's actually a terrific cause behind that horse, and we will definitely get to that. Firstly, how long have you, Mark and Pauline, how long have you guys been in the racing game? How long have you been breeding horses for?
Breeding horses, putting them through the sale, Paul, since the early 2000s, so probably just over 20 years now. We've been reasonably consistent at the sales. 3 or 4 yearlings each year, roughly.
Yep. How many horses do you have on your farm, or how many horses do you have under your care?
Well, we've got 6 standardbred broodmares, and I've sort of said to Pauline we're going to cap it at that and not go over that. Otherwise, we're, how easy it is to accumulate numbers. But she's got 12, 13 riding horses and some rehomed standardbreds that make up her band that she operates a riding school with as well.
Now we'll actually highlight that. You wouldn't believe this, Mark. As soon as I've brought it up, I've actually got it at the wrong section, but we'll bring it back up to the top right now. And it is the you're going to say the name of the place because I'll get it wrong.
Yeah, Auburndale Riding School. We live in Auburn Road, just on the outskirts of Invercargill, and so that was an easy one for Pauline to come up with, Auburndale.
And she has a riding school. And it looks like a lot of fun. There's some pictures down the bottom. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to interact with these pictures or not, but it looks like I am. Yeah, so there's some pictures down the bottom of kids. Before I go too far, this little Appaloosa horse that I've got on screen, he's front and centre. He must have a fair bit of character, does he?
Yeah, it's a she, and her name's Stella. We had quite a major accident with her where she got caught in a fence and got her leg messed up pretty badly, and we had a big rehab operation for her for 8 or 9 months, Pauline changing dressings every couple of days and carting her to the beach 2 or 3 days cycle. And but fortunately she's back and she's jumping and she's doing a fantastic job again with the kids, so it was worth the effort.
So it looks like a riding school, but there's lots of kids riding without bridles on, and they've been led. So it ranges from all walks of life, and it's to give. I think one of the comments I saw up there, a day in the saddle is a day not wasted, and I really like that. I think that's terrific.
Pauline's pretty passionate about just passing on knowledge to kids about horses and giving them opportunity to ride that otherwise wouldn't have that chance. And it's mainly kids are living in the town who don't have a rural outlook, and she provides the gear and the horses, obviously, and the kids turn up with their parents, and she does cater for all different experience levels and ages, and that's why all the different shapes and sizes of horses. I call them the United Nations pony riding. But yeah, so she what she finds is that as she gets the kids through the system and they get a bit more experience, then the older kids assist the younger ones and the less experienced ones. So she actually has a system which she gets the kids, the newbies, through in the holidays, where she has a riding session for a week period, and she sort of test drives them to see whether they're going to fit in with the riding community that she's established. And if they don't sort of make the grade, then they get cut and don't get invited back to do the term riding, which is during the school period, and consistently then throughout the year they carry on. So she's got a bit of a drafting system to make sure that the right sort of kids are going to line up.
I think these sort of things are very important. The fact that you've got rehoming standardbreds as well in it is definitely key. I'm big on that, trying to find places as well to involve them into these things. But at the end of the day, we need our industry to grow. If kids are sitting in town and don't get to touch a horse and smell a horse, how do we expect them to get into the industry? As an owner, if they don't understand why all of us crazy people that are probably watching this podcast fall in love with them. So I think entry level and then being able to progress right through with minimal expense, I think it's a terrific cause and well done.
Yeah, well, I always give her a wind up and say she doesn't charge anywhere near enough, but she really loves the cause and loves spending time with the horses and the kids. And she's got a 7-bay horse truck, so she can load them up and take them out to other riding, trekking areas, out to the beach and out to the forest areas near Invercargill. And there's no issue with the older kids and the more experienced riders to get access to other environments as well. So, that's her cause in life, and she loves it. So I can't stop that. Can't even go near holding her back.
Word of wisdom: don't ever try and tell your wife what to do. It never works. Speaking from strong experience, if people want to get in touch with Pauline in regards to that, best way to do it.
Yeah, just Google Auburndale Riding. So that's AUBURN and then DALE, Auburndale Riding School. And she can come up and there's a contact window there on the webpage.
Very, very good. And for the Australians that, we can't get to New Zealand at the minute, but whereabouts are you guys based? Like, where is Auburndale?
So we're right on the edge of Racecourse Road in Invercargill, just north of the Ascot Park Racecourse. We're pretty lucky. We get the beauty of living right on the town boundary and get the best of both worlds. So, northeast aspect of Invercargill City.
So if they're down in Invercargill and they want to get their riding fix, look you guys up.
Yep.
And go your hardest. I'll work well for tourism. Don't you worry about me, Mark. You don't know where this conversation's going. I can see the nervous look. He's like, where's he going now? But it'll be right. I'll get a hat from Invercargill one day. I've got my NZB hat on. I don't know if Cam Bray's watching. He'll be able to see that. And James Jennings, so I've got that on. So it's all good. I don't have my Woodland shirt on. I'll be in trouble by Mark Hughes. But they have to get washed at sometimes, Mark. That's one of the issues. And you have them on the line. It's never good.
Well, I've got my Southern Red hat on. Understand there should be one on the way to you from Johnny Stiven. He keeps telling me he's going to get you one. Is it turned up yet?
Nah, snail mail. Snail mail's shocking. And just actually, it's a great thing you say that. We're about to highlight some of your yearlings. I know the guys at NZB have had boxes lost in the mail. I know I work for Nutrient over here as well. They've had the same issue. Boxes have been lost in the mail. So if you cannot get access to a paper copy of the NZB sale, make sure you just go to New Zealand Standardbreds, NZB Standardbreds, not New Zealand, nzbstandardbreds.co.nz, and you can view all of those online with photos and videos. And I think that's very important because unfortunately a lot of stuff didn't get here to Australia. I know Cam Bray and the crew are scratching their head as to where they've gone. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. So I think one, he said, looked like it went through the ocean to get there. He said when they opened it up, it was just destroyed with water. So yeah, I don't think they've had a real good trip that way. So please go to nzb.co.nz and then follow all the links to the sale, which is what
and it's a great website. Paul Grant Inglis does all the IT work there for NZB Standardbred, so we plug for him, but he's busy putting up photos and videos, and they've got a good portal this year actually where people can load their own files up too, which is a real bonus to make sure the right material goes in the way you want it to get up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I think it's the way of the future. I think there's some concerns that some people might put subpar quality up. I don't think that's the case because people are trying to sell their own investment. So I think those days are well and truly gone. So I think it's imperative that people are able to promote their product in the way they want to.
And NZB are given some really good, clear guidance as to what types of photos and the angles for the horse and the different makeup of the animal that buyers wanted to view. So if you can't get it right, then you need to go to those sort of guidance references.
Yep, definitely. And it's not expensive. I do it over here for some of my vendors, and I don't think it's overly expensive when you're trying to sell a horse for good quality. So I think if you can't do it, Emily and the crew, give them a yell and go from there. So it's very, very key. You got 3 lots. Now, I realised very quickly, I didn't realise until the end, I think we highlighted lot 1 on day 3. You got the last lot number 310 on day 2. We want everyone to hang around and stay for the Always Be Mickey colt out of the presidential mare in Good to Go Denario. We want to make sure people are still there at the end of the sale on day 2, don't we?
Yeah, well, of course, the first day is the trotting sale in the afternoon, and then
Account of Denario Breeding by the exciting young sire, Always Be Mickey. This
I
mature
wouldn't
yearling
have
has plenty of scope, having replicated his sire's impressive frame. He's the 5th live foal from the presidential bull mare Good to Go Denario, who has produced 3 winners to date,
we hope
including KPO Denario in 154.9. He's good enough to qualify to race in the duels of the 4-year-old year.
He's a lovely colt. He's on screen right now.
Benny Denario has registered 11 wins to date. His other half-brother, Satchmo, has recently been exported to Australia,
he's a lovely
picking up a couple of wins for the Blanchard stable. This is the family of Fake Denario.
He stems from our original foundation broodmare Campeche, who was the mother of Fake Denario, and so this guy's grandmother is a half-sister to Fake Denario. And the mare Good to Go Denario's left 3 winners from 4 foals of racing age. So he's the 5th one, and a couple running in Australia at the moment. Nota Bene Denario's with the Hall stable in West Australia. He ran second to the mighty Ronaldo the other night, Gloucester Park, who people who know the mighty Ronaldo won the West Australian Derby most recently. So he's a pretty smart horse, so no disgrace running second to him. And before that, he'd won his previous 2 races. So he's earned over 140k now and won 11 races. So well said gelding, and he was a big fella, a bit like Miko Denario. So look, he may not make a 2-year-old, but he'll certainly be up and running and capable of winning races at 3. We're confident he's got what it takes to get on the track.
I need to apologise, Mark. I actually had the audio of the movie going over the top of us. I don't like to edit what we say. There was no groundbreaking stuff, so I will leave it in there. But I have to apologise just leaving that audio going for that little bit longer. But I encourage everyone to go, as I said, go back to that nzbstandardbred.co.nz and view the videos in there entirely, because there is some great commentary with each of these videos. The other one you've got now, I love names, and I teased out there before about Elton J. I think there's going to be a lot of people with the Always Be Mickeys that are saying, how did this one get through? Mickey Jagger is lot number 399, another Always Be Mickey. You must have been keen on the Always Be Mickeys, Mike.
Always Be Mickey colt out of She.
Yeah, no, really liked Always Be Mickey. We got an Always Be Mickey filly. We lucked onto an American bred mare that we picked up through Peter Lagan a few seasons ago, and she's closely related to Perfect Sting. The Always Be Mickey horse is doing a fantastic job in North America, and so we managed to get the mare in foal when we bought it to Always Be Mickey, and she dropped a lovely filly, and we actually took her to the sale and ended up buying her back, and we were pretty keen on her, and she just didn't find the value we said on the day, and now she's ended up being a 3/4 sister to Perfect Sting. So it grabbed our attention quite quickly about the Mickeys, and just great to handle. The horses, a lot of common sense, and nice bodied animals. So yeah, we were always going to chase a few more, and we're keeping going back to them with our mares as well.
Lovely, sensible colt. Pauline doesn't seem to have a lot of issues out there, and doesn't mind the dogs. This one had both the dogs in the video.
Yeah, look, he's a really chilled guy, and look, that's important for your race horses to be able to handle different environments, different settings. So he's an animal who's not going to have any difficulty adjusting to training environment and then hopefully a racing environment going forward. And he's a half sister to a nice horse that Regan Todd's got racing at the moment called Play for Lee. She won 3 days ago at the Banks Peninsula meeting. She's won 4th and 10, raced as a 2-year-old and won the Lennon Memorial Group 3. She's won another race just prior to Christmas at Ashburton, beat a handy field of including male 2-year-olds and some nice racehorses. So and she raced the top 2-year-olds up on the North Island last year. Unfortunately, she didn't handle the Auckland way round that well, but she ended up racing in the Jewels and just got blocked for a run at the critical time in the straight. Would have liked to have seen her get some fresh air, but look, she's got talent. Her younger half-sister is a 2-year-old Captain Treacherous, who's we've kept to retain as a broodmare, and she's with Nathan Williamson, and we've syndicated her with a big group of owners. And hopefully she's going to do her stuff. She's due to go to the workouts Friday week. Nathan's got a pretty big opinion of her, so the future's in front of her, and hopefully she can show what she's got in terms of ability. But yeah, we like this boy. He's a nice, neat wee package and a sensible Mickey colt.
I think there's an important update there to be said there with 399. Then make sure you're aware of it, because it actually has playfully just 2 wins at 2, but you're saying now it's won 4 from 10. So that's very, very key. So since the catalogue's come out, notched up another 2 wins and still only lightly raced. So people need to be aware of that. And again, as I highlighted last night when I was talking to Katrina and Dave, end of this sale, I spoke to Cam Bray about it, and it is as strong as any part of the sale going through. There's terrific run of horses. Captain Treacherous has always been Mickey's, Bettor's Delights. You've got to hang around to the end of day 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're not unhappy where we ended up in terms of the grouping either side of us. We've got Arden Lodge's Captain Treacherous filly, the close relative to South Coast Arden. Yep. So there's sort of be some people hanging around, and she comes through not long after Mickey Jagger.
Yep, like 407, Pride of Arden, well named too. I think Johnny put a bit of thought into that one, so he'll be very excited because he's very upbeat about South Coast Arden, and rightfully so. Now,
sorry, just on the name, Paul. I can't take credit for that, Mickey Jagger.
Yes, you can. Don't shelf yourself. You just say it was all me.
Owen Shaw's in on the breeding of She's a Ball. We had some other friends in with her too, but they elected to withdraw their involvement. But Owen, he's not hands-on with the horses, but he certainly puts a lot of time and effort into coming up with the name. So it's his brainchild.
Rightio. The main reason I've got you on is to highlight a great course. Shouldn't say that. The main reason I've got you on is to help you sell your yearlings and promote who you guys are. But when people do a good cause as well at the end of it, it's something that I really like. I think it's something that the industry as a whole, on both sides of the ditch, we're about to start Team Teal. We have Pacing for Pink. We have prostate cancer awareness. I think you guys in New Zealand one day had an all-male race. Who'd have thought that would have happened 10 years ago, just to raise awareness for prostate cancer? But we do so many great things, and you, along with I think a few, obviously your wife Pauline, but and a few other people, you're offering up lot number 349, whose lovely name Reset the Bar, who was a Sweet Lou colt out of the Sunbeach Somewhere mare in Dante's Denario.
Mantis Denario.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what I actually read then. I don't know where I got Dante's from. That's me. Mantis Denario. I'll show you the video. Firstly, what we might do, we might actually just talk about this colt and what he offers, because I mean, Sweet Lou right at the minute, Mark, they're just the flavour of the month and some, especially here in Australia, with the back of Spirit of St. Louis. But it's not just him. There's some cracking horses getting around right now by Sweet Lou. This is a huge offering that people have got the opportunity to buy a horse for a great cause.
Yeah, look, on Sweet Lou, they seem to fall off him a wee bit at the sale last year, but look, I think they're going to have a different view of him now. He's left some lovely animals in North America. He had the Little Brown Jug winner and also the Adios winner. It's 2 separate horses over there, Hullabaloo, and I think the other one was Lou's Pearlman. And I caught an item that you posted, I think last week, about by the Woodlands rep in Aussie, who talked about how many young 2-year-old Sweet Lou's were coming through the system and qualified and were looking to get to the track. And he does throw really nice physical specimens, and this guy that we're offering 349, he is a really nice physical type. So look, we're more optimistic about the Sweet Lou mix in the breed there, and he's out of a Sunbeach Somewhere mare who qualified. Paul, Pauline's cousin is Cran Dalgety, and we'd actually shipped this mare up, or filly at the time, up to Cran's to train with a syndicate that we'd formed. And she qualified in February of her 2-year-old year. She got a break and then came back during the winter months to try and look at a 2-year-old race. She beat a handy field of 5 other male 2-year-old pacers at Ashburton in June of that year. And we were hoping to get her to the races, but Cran said she just tapered off slightly. She came back in the spring, and we thought we might have a racehorse on our hands, but Cran rang me one day and said, look, she's not going to be a classic horse and win a lot of races. She'll definitely win a few races, but it may cost you money to run her. So we elected to send her to stud. And we had a bit of bad luck trying to get foals out of her. So this is actually the first live foal from her. But she's a lovely, strong, some beach somewhere mare out of Averill's Adam. And so she's in fact Mantis Denario's a half to She's a Ball, the mother of Mickey Jagger, and a host of other winners. She's a Cullen, Fizzy Lizzie, Averill's Quest, a couple of nice mares that Rod McKenzie in Auckland raced, and they all won 8, 9, 10 races in that sort of vicinity. So it's a proven family. You've got Ideal Tyson, earned $250,000 in Australia, West Australian prominent runner. It's gone to America and carried on and won races. You've got Form Analysts, so that's the family from Lauriston Bloodstock that pushed that family along more with She's a Cullen. So there's plenty of pedigree references there, and as a physical type, he is a smart boy.
No, he definitely is. And before we get on to the actual cause, when you say there about She's a Cullen, I did an interview yesterday, and it's on Campbell's Comments with Bill and Ann Anderson, and She's a Cullen comes up in there, but they actually give their reasons about how they picked their mares and the likes, and the fact that they picked She's a Cullen, I think, highlights sort of the depth in the breeding and what there is to offer when you listen to people that go all over the world buying horses, and they actually purchase She's a Cullen as well. So and there's a horse there, Beale Street, who burst onto the scene. His racing career's not over. I believe he's almost back to the track. I think they said to me off camera, they did say that he's not far away. I think they're hoping about 2 to 3 weeks he'll be back at the track. So which is key. Very current family as well. But you've got there's a little bit more to this horse. I was going to say, I think I'll let you say it, because I'm going to say 100% of the proceedings, but there's actually more to what happens with all proceeds raised from this horse.
Yeah, so we assigned the ownership of this horse across to an important aged care project that's underway to be established in Southland, and that is Hawthorndale Care Village, and the entity that's going to receive the money from the sale is the Hawthorndale Care Village Charitable Trust. NZB has waived all the entry fees and will not charge any commission on the sale of the horse. Emily Morgan did the video for no charge, and a lot of other people have assisted to get the horse to this point. So we're preparing it, and we'll handle all the costs on that side. And so the total sum of money when the hammer goes down will go to the Hawthorndale Care Village, which is fantastic. So if you want me to lead on and tell you a little bit more about the project,
I'm just going to say well done to all those people, because I think that's why I let you just say that part, because they do fly under the radar, and that's everyone on the day. If they may not be pulling it out of their own pocket, like whoever's auctioneering, Cambrai or whoever, the spotters and everything else like that. They're actually auctioning that horse for nothing. Now those spotters will be paid because they get a wage, and so will Cam and all the rest, but they're actually foregoing anything for that one horse. And I think it's a very big commitment. Emily as well, yourself, like they don't take 5 minutes to do the videos. They can probably take up to 2 to 3 hours of editing, plus however long she's there filming them. So it's a big commitment from everyone to donate their time, and I think well done to those, because it is a great cause. And I will let you go on to it, because I think it's a cause that's very, very relevant, and I think everywhere across the world this is becoming more and more of an issue, and it's something, like I said, I like to promote and want people to be aware of.
Yeah, and I've got HRNZ didn't charge us to register the foal either, so it had originally had a different name, and I thought about it a bit more, and I thought, let's try and tie it back to the project. So what the project's trying to do is to offer a new model of aged care for the elderly in New Zealand, and It's been a model that's established in the Netherlands called the Hogway, and it's based around people living in a normal household and active normal environment where they get more stimulation, more choices to make with their daily activity, and just a better quality of care. So typically, retirement villages are institutional type facilities, long hallways, rooms off either side. What the Hawthorndale Care Village is looking to establish is just a large number of houses and have 6 to 7 residents in each house. So you get the laundry done in the home, you get the cooking and the cleaning. So you've got a normal pattern of life and more choices about when you rock out of bed in the morning, when you retire at night. You're not enforced under the same rigid regime that you tend to have in a normal care facility. And it's catering more for those residents who have dementia and cognitive issues, Alzheimer's and other related issues of the brain. And there's a tidal wave coming at us in that area with that health issue. The stats show that in New Zealand alone, by 2050, we're going to have 300% more people suffering from those types of illnesses than we currently have. And look, a lot of people ask me why that happens, and I'm not a medical expert, but we are living longer. We're probably more sedentary in our lifestyle, not as much physical activity. We probably eat too much. There's a whole number of factors there and we're probably not eating the same natural food that our predecessors used to, and our previous generations used to eat. So there's a whole lot of reasons there, but the fact is it's happening. And so we think there's got to be a better model and a better way of dealing with it and offering people who are getting towards the end of their lives a better quality option. And so this Reset the Bar is all about trying to say, let's get people thinking about this new project, get it up and running, and then it can serve to be a springboard to get others to adopt the same style of offering, and we can demonstrate that it definitely is a better way of caring for our elderly.
It's very important, because I think the other part, if you're sitting there and you're listening to this and you're going, oh yeah, maybe if it does happen or doesn't happen, you got to realise that a lot of kids are looking after their parents now, and they've got this issue. And if you're sitting there, if you don't want your kids to have to go through the same sort of thing, I agree with the thinking now and trying to get ahead of the curve instead of waiting for the curve to happen, if that makes sense. Like, I think if you can continually increase it, that way is going to be a better result. You said to me off air there before, Mark, you needed to raise $6 million. We're not expecting this cult to raise anywhere near that, but you've well and truly eclipsed half of it. It'd be nice if you did, I'm sure, but it'd be nice for everyone, I reckon, the entire industry, if you did make that much. But you passed the $4 million mark, so you're definitely on the home stretch.
Yeah, so the total build value, Paul, is $35 million. It's on a parcel of land in the main artery into Invercargill, close to the Ascot Park Hotel, and not far from the Ascot Park racecourse, actually. But of the 35 mil, we set an amount aside of $6.5 million that we had to get as pure donations. We started fundraising 2 and a bit years ago for that 6.5 mil, and we're north of $4 million. So we're really around that 2, or just quite slightly under $2 million to close the gap. We've set a target of trying to start construction by September of 2022 this year. So we would consider ourselves to be in the home stretch, and we're really wanting just to push it out there and get a bit more profile for the project, and try and talk to the right people who've probably got a bit more excess wealth or surplus wealth that they can afford to make a contribution to this important project.
Yeah, no, I think it's very, very important. If people want to contribute, I mean, if they want to buy the colt, by all means, log on to the sale, go to the sale catalogue and purchase a colt. Go make sure you inspect him and the likes. But if people actually want to just contribute, is there a way that they can do that?
Yeah, certainly. The Hawthorndale Care Village has a website set up, and there's a donation link there that people can access. So just go to Google Hawthorndale Care Village, and that website will come up. So Hawthorndale is HAWTHORN, and Dale, DALE, Hawthorndale. It's actually the site where we intend to construct the new facility. There used to be a school there. It was called Hawthorndale School. So that's where the Hawthorndale name came from. And the care village, it's a community facility. We want people to be able to access the facility, not based on the size of their bank account or their balance sheet. We've done some modelling on the finances that 40% of the residents may be able to pay a slight premium on what they would normally pay in the other residential retirement homes. But 60% of the residents will certainly get in there on the same way that the government would subsidise normal retirement living. So it's important that it's definitely not a facility that you need money to get in the door.
No, great cause. Really appreciate it. And I think well done to everyone behind the scenes, not just you guys. I'm sure there's plenty of people there. You're only one part of the cog that makes the whole wheel turn. But I think well done to yourself and Pauline though for donating this horse up. And I appreciate you bringing it to my attention because I think it's something that's very, very good. And to be honest, it was the guys at Southern Bred, Southern Red initially touched base with me. So they're all behind it. And I think that's pretty key and pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we had a debrief meeting back in May of this year where NZB personnel came down and we had a bit of a throw around at a hotel venue, and I asked for a slot to be able to get up and speak about the project and give people some background and some information. And again, Southern Bred, Southern Red, really supportive of these types of cause and swung them behind it. And I'm going to bone up all the guys once they've got all their proceeds from their lots in their pockets after the sales. I'll be giving each of them a call, don't worry, and chase them down and say, hey, here's the donation form. Let's get moving on it.
Give Cam Bray a tap on the shoulder and just say donate your week's wages. He'll be right.
Yeah, that might be a harder ask.
I'll know if he watched the end of this interview. Don't you worry about that. I'll wait and see how he went there. No,
look, NZB have been great. James Jennings all across the cause straight away. So yeah, no downside there.
You might have to tell James to stop drinking his craft beers and just go back to the locally brewed stuff and donate a little bit as well.
Possibly.
See how he goes there. I'll get a phone call from him soon too. Don't worry about that. Mark, well done for what you're doing here with lot number 349. I think it's huge. Yourself and Pauline, I think well done and congratulations. Good luck with the 3 lots. Good luck to everyone involved with Southern Bred, Southern Red, and good luck to everyone selling horses at NZB Standard Bred sale. This is not going to be my last interview, and I'm sure we'll be reminding people all the way through about lot 349. But I want everyone just to go to the website, especially my Australian friends that are watching this. Go to nzbstandardbreds.co.nz and follow the links. It's pretty straightforward. Pictures are updated, videos are updated regularly, pedigrees are updated regularly as well. So it's a very easy site to manage and get involved with. So Mark, I really appreciate coming on with me. I might have buggered you around yesterday. We did this the day after, but I really, really appreciate it. And congratulations and all the best. And congratulations to Pauline, and that poodle is prime. I love the poodle. I want it in all of your yearling videos from now on. Tell her.
He's sitting alongside me, actually. I could grab him and get him on screen, but just 2 plugs before I close off, Paul. Firstly, Southern Bred, Southern Red, for the people in behind that promotional group. There's 6 or 7 key people who do a heap of work behind the scenes, and we, the vendors, benefit from that. So it's great to have the collective promotion for the region and for the breeders in the southern part of New Zealand. And just really importantly, the work you're doing, fantastic to promote the game and the broader involvement of harness racing and life after racing and other activities with horses. Look, it's superb, and I said to you, I don't know when you find time to sleep, but like a person of your calibre and the energy you deliver in promoting the sport, it's just fantastic.
You know, I'll edit that bit out, don't you?
You can't do that.
I can. It's easy to do something that you love. So there is no hassles there at all. And I think I'd like to more people do it. I think the more we can promote our sport and these great causes that you guys are doing, the more people will realise racing is more than just it paid $1.60 or it paid $10. There is so much more to racing than people realise.
Exactly. Look, you only get the fun and the value out of it if you're sharing it and doing it with others. I'll just grab the poodle. Don't go away.
Yes, please. This poodle, you've got to watch all three lots, and this poodle's prime sits there prime all of the time. And I did allude that I have one of those. Ours is a dark one. Everyone would say, who'd want a poodle? I can tell you, once you've had a poodle, you'll always want a poodle. Would that be fair?
Very intelligent and loyal horses. It's funny, dogs. When you say that, I said to Pauline when she bought the first one, and we had two at one point, I said, what the hell are you buying a poodle breed for? I said, I don't want a wee puffy dog like that. But anyways, changed my mind big time. Yeah.
They're the greatest dog. We got one here, and I can tell you it will be 10 metres behind my wife. The most loyal dogs ever. It doesn't matter where she is on the farm, the dog will be 10 metres behind her. She just loves her, and great dogs. So, and a good selling point. I expect to see the dog in part of the marketing strategy plan for next year. So that'll be good. Mark, thank you very much. Really enjoyed the chat, mate, and appreciate it. And good luck at the sales. And please, everyone, check out lots 310, 399, but more importantly, 349, because all money raised for that, 100% of it is going to a terrific cause. Thank you very much, Mark.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for your time.